Assalamu alaikum. So, hello everyone. Today we are going to see an important lesson. It's about relative clause, okay? So before we start, so what is relative, okay? It comes from the verb relate, so to relate, okay? So here, as you can see, we have here two sentences. So how can we relate between these two sentences to have just one? So we have here a clause. What is a clause in English? As you can see here, we have a man lives next door. So a man here is a subject, lives, verb, next door to an object. So this is what we call a clause, okay? So we have here two sentences. A man lives next door. The man is very friendly. So here, as you can see, as you can notice, we have the repetition of the word a man, okay? So we have a man, and here we have the man. So the man here, it's a person. What shall we say here? So we always start with the man, which is definite. So we say here the man, okay? And we replace the first man, which is the subject, with the relative pronoun who. The relative pronoun who. So we say the man who lives, okay, next door is very friendly. Okay? So, next one, I want to see why. Why do we use here who? We don't use another relative pronoun. Okay? So, number two is the same thing here. Gentleman lives in France. He is a Moroccan comedian. As you can see, we have the repetition of gentleman. And here we have he. So he, it refers to gentleman, who is a person. Okay? So this person, so I want to what? To avoid this repetition. What shall we say here? What shall we do? So we can start with the noun, because here we have gentleman and we have here he. So we start with the noun, which is gentleman. Okay? Gentleman, and I want to what? To replace this one. Okay? We say gentleman who. Okay? Who is a Moroccan comedian, lives in France. Or gentleman who lives in France is a Moroccan comedian. So it's the same thing, okay? So we say here, gentleman who is a Moroccan comedian, okay, lives in France. Right? So we replace gentleman. So we have here gentleman lives in France. Gentleman is a Moroccan comedian. So we replace gentleman or he with the relative pronoun who. So as you can see here, we can go directly to the rule. When do we use who? So we use who here for, or to refer, or to replace a person. Okay? So it's for person or people in general. Okay? So who for people. But I want to see the difference here between who and whom. Let's see the number two. You met a man the other day. The man is our teacher, or the man was our teacher, but it depends on the teacher, is it still or not, okay? So you met a man the other day. The man is our teacher. So where's the repetition here? The repetition said a man, and here we have the man. So the man here is definite, means it's noun. So we're going to start with it, the same thing as we did in number two. We see here the man, okay? But here we have, you met a man. So the place of this man, it's not the same thing as the first. So here it is a subject. But here it's what? It's an object. As you can see, you, subject, met, verb, and the man is an object. So what can we see here? The man, instead of say who, we use whom. So, the man whom. The man whom, what? You met the other day, okay, is our teacher. So, what replace here, or replace for the man here, an object with whom. So what I'm going to say here, we have whom, it's the same thing, it's for people, or for a person. But the difference between who and whom, so who, we use it what? To replace it, so what? As a subject. Okay? So the word that we should, the noun that we should replace should be in the place of as a subject, okay? For the second one, which is whom, for people it's as an object. So it should be an object, it's not a subject, okay? So, let's move to the number, so this is concerning the difference between who and whom. So I repeat, who for people as a subject, but whom, we use it for people as an object, okay? This is for the difference between who and whom. Let's move to the next one. The woman is sad. Her husband is so sick. As you can see, what is the repetition, okay? So we have the repetition, we have the woman, and we have here her. So her, it's not he or she. So we say the woman is sad, her husband. So this her refers to the woman. So this is what we call here possessive, okay? So this is a possessive case. So what are we going to see here, or to say, sorry? The woman is sad, her husband is so sick. So we start with the noun, which is the woman. We see here the woman. So we are going to use the possessive. Which one do we use as a possessive? It's a whose. So the woman whose husband is so sick, what he said. Okay? So pay attention here. For whose, we always use it for possessive case, but it's not the only case for the people. Okay? It could be used for an object or for things, etc. So let's come here. So whose, it's used for, okay, or it's used for possessive or possessive case, the same thing, possessive. But it could be a person, okay, a person, or an object or a thing, etc. Okay, or animal, etc. Okay, all right. This is for these things. Let's move to number 5. Latifa lost the iPhone. The iPhone cost her 5,000 dirham. Latifa lost the iPhone. So the iPhone cost her 5,000 dirhams. Where is the repetition here? As you can see, we'll notice we have here the iPhone, and here the iPhone is the same. So here we can start with this one, or this one's the same, okay? But let's say it this way. We're going to say Latifa, okay, lost the iPhone, okay? So the iPhone here, it's not a person, it's not a possessive, okay? So we are going to say Latifa lost the iPhone which. So here we use the relative pronoun which. Which what? Which cost her 5,000 dirhams. Okay? So cost is the verb in the past. Okay? So Latifa lost the iPhone. The iPhone cost her 5,000 dirhams. So the iPhone, or Latifa lost the iPhone which. So we are not going to use this word or the iPhone because it is repeated. So we'll replace it with the relative pronoun which. Okay? So now which is used for what? So which is used for it's like things or objects or animals. Means non-people. Okay? Okay? Alright. Let's move to the next one. A car breaks down regularly. The car is my father's. So a car breaks down regularly. The car is my father's. So the repetition here is what? So we have here a car, and we have here the car. So we what? We have the repetition of the word car. So car, it's not a person. It's not for some people. It's a person, so it's a thing. So in this case, we are going to say like what? So we start with the car. You know the car. You know the car which. Okay? So we replace this. The car which breaks. So here we use which or that. So it's the same. Okay? So that we can find in 3 cases. Okay? So a car which or that breaks down. Alright? Breaks down regularly. Okay? Is my father's. Okay? So it means what? That car that you see always breaks down or breaks down regularly, so it belongs to my father. Okay? It's my father's car. So this is positive. Okay? So the car which or the car that breaks down regularly is my father. So it's the same thing here because the car is an object. Okay? So this is for, as you can see here, relative pronouns. Because this in relative clause we have two types of relative. We have relative pronouns and we have relative adverbs. So let's see relative adverbs. As you can see, this exercise, also the example 7. I studied in a school. The school was so big. So the repetition here is school. And we have here the school. What are we say to say here? So we start with the school. Okay? Which is noun. Because here it's indefinite, but here it's the defined. Okay? So the school. The school is what? It's a place. So here we replace the school, the second one is what? With where. So the school where I studied, okay, was so big. Okay? So the school where I studied when I was young was so big. Okay, so where here, you can say that where is used for place. Okay? For places or place, okay? For place. The last example is, my sister was born in winter. That winter was so cold. So the repetition here is, we have in winter, and we have here that winter. So we start with the winter or that winter, okay? The winter or that is the same. The winter, okay? My sister was born in winter. So winter here, it's a season. So it refers to what? To something that we'll talk about at time. So time, sorry. So we say the winter when my sister was born. So the winter when my sister was born was so cold. Okay? So here you can say that the winter, the when, it is used for time. Okay? We have also why as a relative adverb. This is for, it is used for reason, etc. Okay? So I repeat. So relative pronouns, as you can see from these examples, we can infer to the rule or rules. So relative pronouns, so for who is it for people? Whom for people, so who and whom, it's the same thing. But the difference is what? Who, it always used as a subject, so it replace the subject, okay? Whom, it's for people, the same thing, but it's as an object, okay? To replace the object of the word, okay? The word in the people, the person, the noun. Which, it's for things or objects or animals. Whose, it's for possessive or possessive case, okay? When we find her, his, their, etc. This is for relative pronouns. We can add here in this tree who or whom or which. We can use also that. We can replace that with this, okay? We can use that instead of who or whom or which. For relative adverbs, we have where and when. So where, maybe most of you know that. So we use it for place and when for time. So this is the lesson of relative clause. Now I'm going to give you some exercises for practice, okay? Okay, so this is the practice that you are going to work on. So I hope that it's clear for you, but I will read, okay? So the first activity is circle the correct answers, A, B, or C. The first sentence, the police arrested the man, and we have killed his wife. So the relative are which, whose, or who. Which one is correct? 2, let's send an email to the tourist. Which or whom or who we met at the museum last week. 3, the boy, whose or who or which dog has been barking the whole night, phone to apologize. 4, the mobile phone, is it which or who or whom your order has arrived. 5, Kevin Saleh is the city, is it whose or where or which I live now. 6, 1994 is the year. Is it where or whose or when my younger sister was born? This is activity 1. Activity 2, fill in the blanks with who, whom, which, when, where, and whose. First one, I respect people, are good listeners. 2, that's the woman I called a few minutes ago. I prefer dogs, don't bark a lot. Let's find a store. We have here, we can buy chips, soda and candy. 5, the police arrested the taxi driver had ignored the red light. 6, this is the camera I bought last week. Is that the man? Car was stolen. And 8, a vacuum cleaner is a device, uses air to clean carpets. 9, a lawyer is a person who provides legal advice to people. And the last one is, I never forget the moment I finally received my baccalaureate certificate. So I hope to do this exercise and wait for the second part of this video. It's about the correction of this practice or exercises. Okay, so have a nice day.